blanket, your massage ball, your strap, 2 blocks, a chair if you'd like to have a chair for any portion of the class. That's always a welcome addition for working with any limitations, for deepening of pose, for if it's uncomfortable to get up and down off the floor. Also for forward folds, the chair is really good. The seat of the chair is good if you have lower back issues, and bending all the way forward and then coming up is uncomfortable or flares up your back in any way. Being able to come halfway down and using the chair for support helps with that, and also with hamstring tightness. So it's just a wonderful addition to the practice. We are going to start with alternate nostril breathing. So finding a seated position that feels comfortable for you for the next few moments. If you have nostrils that aren't clear, you know, like a little stuffy on one side or the other, and it's not possible to do alternate nostril breath, then I would recommend doing belly breathing. Breathing in however you can, slowly, softly breathing in until your lungs are full, and counting in your mind as you do that, and then slowing the exhale down as you let that breath go. See if you can double the amount of time it takes to exhale. It's called ratio breath. It's common to say 4 and 8, breathe in for 4, breathe out for 8, but that's not really a match for some people's lung capacity. So you can just breathe in till you feel full. If you land on 2, great, exhale to 4. So just a ratio of 1 to 2. Otherwise, we'll do alternate nostril, which helps to balance the brain and the nervous system. So we'll start now. The thumb and either the middle finger, or let's do the ring finger on the left nostril, and your peace fingers can rest up near your forehead. Your left hand can rest wherever feels comfortable for you. And start by taking a breath in and let it go. Good, breathe in, let it out. Go ahead and close your right nostril and breathe in through your left. Close the left and breathe out through the right. Breathe in right. Close the right, breathe out through left. Continue this on your own. Take another round, ending with an exhale through the left side. Letting your hands rest on your lap comfortably, coming back to a natural rhythm of breathing and just noticing what you're feeling now in the body, the mind, the heart. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Robert Kahn says, prayer is not a shout into an empty void answered only by its own echo. Prayer is the spirit within us, reaching out to the spirit of the universe, and prayer is that spirit responding to us. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. So I wanted to start with that, that writing on prayer, and the idea of prayer from the heart versus prayer from the mind, from the intellect. Coming from the intellect, it's a good portal in, right? It's a good way, guided prayer and written prayer to read is a good way to come into the space of prayer. But ultimately, being able to feel what's in one's heart and soul and to be able to speak that aloud is so powerful. And then I thought about the secular New Year, how some make resolutions, some don't. But I was thinking of the difference between the word resolution and the word promise, and how much more powerful it is to make a promise from your heart and your soul versus make a resolution or have an intention even from the level of the intellect. Because the intention leaves a whole lot of wiggle room. Well, I intend to yada yada, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, right? But it's my intention. Even resolution, is coming from a place of should. I should do this, so I'm going to say I'm going to do this or not do this. And how it would shift the energy to come from a place of a promise from the heart to oneself. What do you promise yourself this year? What promise can you make to yourself that would affect the world around you and change you from the inside out? So prayers and promises from the heart, from the body, even from the gut, right? Dropping from that big head into the body, the wisdom of the body. So as we practice today, I'm going to give a couple of moments of time in between where you can just check in. What could you promise yourself? If you already have a resolution or an intention, can you shift that to a promise? And what does that do to the energy of it? How does that change for you, if at all? So that's my invitation today. We're going to do some seated warm-ups, whether you're in a chair or on the floor. You choose. I'm going to sit cross-legged on a block. We're going to bring the arms up overhead, breathe in, and exhale, hands to your heart. Do that a few times. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, take a twist to one side. Let your fingertips come down. Look over your shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Let's do 2 more. Big, full, deep breaths. Good. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your knees. Just start to do some big circles with your upper body. Just stirring, like your upper body is a wooden spoon and the lower body is a big pot of soup. and you want to get all the edges in that pot. Just get all the edges, move everything around, and change direction. Notice how your back is feeling. How's the lower back today? Good. Come back to center and just bring your chin to your chest and notice how the back of your neck feels. You can do a little side to side. Breathing into the back of the neck. Nice deep breath in. And then let it go. Start to roll your right ear toward your right shoulder. And tilt your chin back just a little bit so you get into the front of the side of the neck. Pause there and take a nice deep breath. Let the weight of your head take you into the stretch rather than muscling your way into it. Slowly roll your chin towards your chest and come on over to the other side. Left ear, just aiming down toward the left shoulder. And then a slight tilt of the chin. Breathing into the side of the neck. Slowly rolling the chin back toward the chest. And then gaze up, or just straight ahead, not necessarily up. Let's do some shoulder circles. Big, big ones. Up, back, and down. And then other direction. So we're going to take hands out in front of us with just a soft fist. So just keep them just like that, straight arms, and then lift the shoulders up and then pull back, arms stay straight, drop the shoulders down, and then reach out again. Up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, down, and then reverse. So bring those shoulders back as much as you can, like your shoulder blades could touch each other, and then bring them up and then forward and then down. The arms stay out in front of you. Draw the shoulder blades together, bring them up to the ears, reach them forward. They spread their shoulder blades apart and then drop down. Good, and relax. That'll warm up your shoulders in a hurry. We're going to come to hands and knees for cat and cow. So those knees are right under the hips. Wrists are under the shoulders. Connect your breath to this movement. Imagine that every breath you take, you could just breathe it into the spine, in between all the vertebrae. Exhaling as you come into your cat, rounded spine. Inhaling as you come into cow. Let your spine play to start to maybe side bend. Some free flow movement here, maybe rocking the hips forward and back. Connect, just let it all connect. Just let it be really fluid. We're going to come into a child's pose. So if that bothers your knees or your the tops of your feet or ankles, you can always place your blanket right under that area to take some pressure off. We'll take knees wide and reach the arms out in front with your head resting on a mat or on a block if you need to. Can you cross one thumb over the other thumb? And take those fingertips a little more forward. Just opening up the underarm area. Walk your hands over to the left a little bit with those thumbs connected. And as you reach diagonally to the left, you're also going to press back through the right hip, reaching as if you're made out of taffy, warm taffy, and you're just getting stretched in 2 different directions. Engage your belly so that you can safely come over to the other side. Switch your thumb grip. So just take the other thumb on top and reach now toward the right with some awareness of that left hip area, pressing back through the left hip. Good, and then engage the belly. Go ahead and come back to center. Bring your hands back up underneath you. And we'll take a dynamic thread the needle pose. So the left hand will come just a little bit more to the center of the mat to give you some more stability. And then the right arm's gonna come up and reach for the sky. Keep your belly engaged and then just scoop it underneath your arm. And before you lay down completely, don't lay down completely, just kind of hover, get a little stretch, and then come back up. Inhale, reach. And an exhale, scoop under. Your belly should be really engaged. It's like you're reaching as far as you can under that left arm. If at any point you want to just lay down and pause and take a stable thread the needle, you can. And then come back to center. We'll change sides. Right hand comes to the center of the mat. And then the left arm comes up. Open up that chest. Reach for the sky. As you exhale, scoop under the right. And then inhale, back up. Or you can pause in your twist at any time. Last twist if you're in a dynamic pose with me. And go ahead and sit back and just release your wrists for a second. We have one more thing we're going to do on our wrists and knees. So center of your mat, set up just like you were going to do cat and cow. Extend your right leg behind you. Flex your right foot. So press your right foot behind you as if you're pressing straight into a wall. So your whole leg's really, really active. Pull your belly in, and then notice if your right hip kind of wanted to pop up to the side a bit. I would like you to try to bring it down so those hip points, those frontal hip bones are both pointing down in the same direction. And just start to pump the leg a little bit, lifting and lowering. We're firing up this back posterior body here, glutes and hamstrings. Did you lose connection with your abdominals? If you did, just draw the core in. Good, and release. And now we'll just switch over to the left leg. First, before you start lifting up and down, establish your stability here. So pull the belly in, square the hips, flex the left foot, press into the invisible wall. That way your whole leg is active. Then start to lift and lower. Keep the movement in the leg, so you don't want to have this swinging action in the spine. So we want to keep the spine nice and stable to isolate the leg. Good, a couple more. It should be feeling a little bit warm. Good, and release. Good. Go ahead and either cat-cow or take another child's pose. Just release your spine, your lower back. Okay, we're going to come onto our backs now for just a couple minutes of strap stretches for our legs. Go ahead and bring the strap around the bottom of your right leg. The middle of your foot or the ball of your foot of the right leg. Relax your shoulders. And you can straighten the left leg or you can keep it a little bit bent, whatever works for you. And just gently start to move, use the strap to move the leg in different directions, holding if you need to hold to open up tighter areas. And we're going to take a minute on this side. As you do this, I'm going to give you a minute or so to think about what promises you feel like you want to make to yourself. Maybe just one for right now. What's one promise? Good, let's switch sides. Let's replacing that right leg with the left one. And using those straps to guide your leg and support your leg as you stretch any place that needs to stretch. Did your promise come from a place of should? Did it come from your heart and your soul? Did it come from your body? Go ahead and release this side. Place your strap off your mat off to the side. Hug your knees into your chest in any way that you'd like to. So knees can be open or close together, and just do some rocking side to side, just massaging all those spaces right around the sacrum and lower back. Good, let's do some ankle circles, pointing and flexing. Good, let's bring the feet to the floor so the knees are bent, and take one block and bring it between your thighs and bring the feet close to the bottom. You might even be able to touch your heels with your fingers and squeeze your block. So really engaging those inner thighs as part of your core here. And then start to lift your hips off of the floor till you feel an opening through the front of the body and some activity in the back body and the glutes and legs. Press into your feet and isometrically push your feet away from you. So your feet won't go anywhere, but you're going to push into the heels. And as you do that, you'll get a little more levity in the upper body. Take a breath here and lower down. So we'll do two more. This time I invite you to lift your arms at the same time overhead. It's not a requirement, just an offering. You'll squeeze the block, start to lift the hips and the arms overhead, opening the whole front of the body. Exhaling, lowering everything down. And last time, squeeze that block, press into your feet, lift the arms, press into those heels, and exhaling, lowering down. Good, go ahead and release your block, hug your knees in again, give yourself another rock and roll side to side. And then we'll come to turn around. I'm going to turn over and come to standing with massage ball. And you'll keep your blocks at the top of your mat for now. So let's massage that right foot. Keep breathing nice and full, deep breaths. Give a little extra attention to the ball of your foot by rolling the massage ball from side to side and getting to that outer edge of the pinky toe, the base of the pinky toe, the big joint there where it starts. And then over to the big toe, the big joint. So not the top smaller knuckles, but the big joint underneath where the ball of the foot starts, just going back and forth there. Good. And then go ahead and change sides, do the same thing, work those same areas on the left. And then we'll go ahead and place the ball off the mat. Do some half sun breaths here. So the feet are hip width apart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. This time you can cross one thumb over the other. The hands are in prayer. And engaging the belly, just leaning to one side. Come up through center, lean to the other. Come up through center, bring your hands down and to your lower sacrum. So the area below your lower back, kind of like right in the area of the tush, above the tush. And squeezing the legs nice and tight. Press your hips forward, draw your elbows together, and just do a little hip thrust forward as those elbows try to come together. You don't have to look up or back, just a little back bend. Breathing in, opening through the heart, and exhale. Good, let's do some shoulder circles. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. What is another promise that you can make to yourself? I promise myself. Inhale, reach up. I promise myself. Exhale, make your statement. Do that 3 more times. Last time that you do that, go ahead and take a forward fold, either toward blocks or toward the seat of a chair, and just let yourself hang here. Your knees can be as bent as you need them to be. From the forward fold, you can reach your arms over to one side. And both knees may stay bent, or you might, if you're reaching, let's say to the left, you might try to straighten the right leg just a little bit, but not necessary if it doesn't work for your body. Relax your head, let the whole neck go. Good, and then maybe walking the hands over to the right, keeping these bent, or possibly straightening the left leg a little bit more. That stretch will probably travel all the way up into the lower back. Good. Now coming back to center, engage the belly, bring your hands to your shins, start to slide back up with a flat back, all the way up. Reach your arms out and hands to your heart. Good. Let's do some energy medicine today. So there's 2 breath techniques I'll offer for today, depending on how you feel, where you're at in your body, mind, and spirit. So you have an option of breath of joy, breathing in and lifting those arms up, out, and up and down, which we've done a lot. If you're not feeling very motivated, if you're feeling tired, if you need a little burst of energy and motivation and inspiration, that would be a great one to do. The other one that I'll give you is the wood chopper, which we've done before, this ha, breathing in and ha, nice deep ha sound from the diaphragm. That's if you're feeling like you've got these promises, you have these things that you want to practice in your life, but you feel like there's just a whole lot of obstacles getting in the way, whether they're perceived or real, and you just want to bust through those. So just choose which. You could do both at any time, but choose right now what one feels like a good match for you. And we'll take a minute to do that. I'm going to practice breath of joy, if you've forgotten that. Whatever breath you've chosen, really put your heart into it, your energy into why you are doing this breathing technique right now. Let's do 2 more. Bring your feet under your hips. Take a moment to notice the energy in your body. Looking at your promises from this place within, how does that feel? Okay, let's support our immune system and do our 3 thumps. So bring your fingertips under your collarbones and start to tap. Keep your knees soft. Big breaths in and out. Right under that collarbone, kind of toward the center of the breastbone. And now the center of the chest, just drumming on that thymus area. Let out a big ah. Ah, good. Let's knock on those ribs. Wake up the spleen meridian. Tapping, knocking, even massaging up and down. It's waking everything up to just support and strengthen the immune system. And shake it out. Great. So we'll move into a couple of standing poses. Your blocks will be at the top of your mat, as I'm going to go this way, as well as a chair if you would like, you think you might want some extra support. That chair is there, so you've got everything there that you might need. We'll take our first standing pose with the right foot forward and bent knee, warrior 1. So line your heels up with each other. The back legs turned in slightly, front knee is bent. Now, try not to force the hips straight forward. Just focus on the waist. So that bottom of the body is planted, the waist and heart face forward, and then bring your arms up to warrior 1. Let's straighten the front knee. Inhale, the arms stay straight. And exhale, bend the knee, open up into cactus pose, open heart. And we'll do that again, straighten the legs and arms. Inhale, exhale. Breathing life into the heart, into your promises. Pausing with the heart open, knee bent. So from here, we'll take humble warrior. So bring your hands behind you, reaching back with the palms facing down, belly's pulled in, and then start to hinge forward at the hip crease. This is where you may want to use a support of a block if needed, or use the chair, or you can bring the arms back and let them float. Pull the belly in though. Humble warrior, so thinking of your promises and how often we make mistakes and we fall short of our promises, and that's okay. We can inhale, reach up, elevate ourselves again, exhale, humble warrior, come back to the promise. Breathe. Okay, so from here, we're going to take something called Don't Be Scared. It's called the standing split, which I doubt any of us will do. I'm going to use the chair seat, or you can use your block. I'm going to pull my front foot forward so it's underneath me more. So my foot is under my hip now. Square your hips just like you did in the warm-up when we were on our knees, and lift the left leg back behind you. Does that feel familiar? So a standing split doesn't use the arms, doesn't go out to the sides or anything. We just start to fold forward and reach the back leg as high as we can behind us. That's why the chair is awesome, blocks are awesome. Hips are square to the floor. This is a lot of work for the standing leg. Pull your belly in, protect your lower back. One more breath. Good, and then just bring that left leg to meet the right leg. Take a full forward fold or a half forward fold. Good, you're going to bring your hands to your shins, look out in front of you, start to come up with a flat back. And then we'll take the second side here. So left foot's forward, right foot back, heels aligned for warrior 1. Spinning the waist and belly button to face forward. Good, straighten that front knee, reach the arms up. Breathe in, exhale, bend knee and arms into cactus. Do this a few times on your own. It's building the heat in the body, feeling the challenge of this commitment to moving through this sequence. Last one, you're going to pause with bent knee, open heart. Breathe here. And then come into your humble warrior. So reach the hands back behind you, belly's engaged, hinge forward. Bow in humility to your heart, to your spirit, to your promise or promises. Good, inhale, elevate, reach up. And exhale, one more bow. And breathe. Good. So hands are gonna either find a chair or blocks. Scoot your front foot back toward your body. So it's right under your hip, if so, pretty close to under your hip. And then shift your weight to that left foot. Start to lift the right leg. Hips are square to the floor. And then fold as much as you want to, as much as you're comfortable doing, and lift the back leg. Keep the foot flexed on that back leg with the toes pointing down toward the floor. Very challenging pose. A lot different than last week's class. And you're doing great. And then bring that foot down and take a fold. That feels good for you. Maybe you'll hold opposite elbows or keep using the support under your hands. And then start to come up with a flat back. You can keep your chair, we're gonna do a wide-legged forward fold. So you might use your blocks or you might move your chair in front of you so that you can be facing the long edge of your mat. We're gonna get those legs nice and open. Outer edges of the feet where you were massaging with the ball. Hopefully you're very aware of the outer edges of your feet so they're connected. Squeeze your thighs, start to hinge forward to Prasarita Padottanasana, forward fold here. Then you let your head go a little bit more. Let this forward fold nourish your brain and nervous system. We're going to start to come up and heel toe those feet together until you can come up with a flat back. We're going to do a figure four stretch. You can do it seated or you can do it on the chair. I'm going to offer it seated. We'll just all follow along with the same side first. So sitting up high on the tush, we're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. It might even come to the shin at first. You might want to hold it on the shin or go to the chair if it's just in this position not accessible. But we're looking to cross the right ankle over the left knee or thigh and then start to bend that left knee or lift your bottom and scoot towards your foot. So you're in full control here. So you can use your arms and foot as a way to press yourself into the stretch. So there's no compression on the knee joint. Pigeon's awesome. I love pigeon. But if you have sensitive knees, this might be a better option for you, or from the chair or from lying down on your back. So lots of opportunities to stretch the outer right hip. We want to really keep the right knee active though, pressing away from the body. Keep the right foot flexed. If you're sitting like I am, watch out for sinking into the shoulders. Really use those arms to press you up and away. Okay, you can start to release this side. And then take the second side, whatever that looks like for you today. Activating that left glute, press your knee away from you, your left knee. And then start to release the side. I'm going to sit on my blanket just to create a little height for the lower back so that it's not rounding. This, what we're going to do next is a seated twist. So you can do this from a chair if you prefer. If you are on the floor, it's nice to have a little lift in that, in the sits bones, and sit on the very edge of the blanket, because the point is, as we sit on the edge, it shifts the pelvis forward. If we just sit flat on the blanket, we're basically sitting on the floor again. So the key is to sit on the edge if you're on a blanket, not necessarily on a chair. Okay, and then for the legs, let's bring the left foot in close to the bottom and the right foot close to the left ankle, or you can cross it over. If you're in a chair, we're all going to be turning to the right. So just feeling yourself rooted, your sits bones rooted and connected to your support. And then just start to take a gentle twist, gazing over your right shoulder. Keep your belly pulled in and imagine that your spine could grow a little taller. The crown of your head has like a little string attached from the top of your head all the way up to the heavens. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw. Is there a third promise that you have that you want to make to yourself or to someone else? Let this promise rise up from the earth, from your body, from your bones, from your gut and intuition. So to unwind your twist, we'll move to the second side. Right foot close to the bottom, left foot close to the body or crossing over. Make your way into your twist, gazing over your left shoulder, drop your shoulders, let your heart be open, breathe into your belly, breathe into your heart. Go ahead and come back to center. If you're on a chair, you can make your way to the floor. We are all going to come onto our backs. Knees can be bent. And I really like to walk the feet to the outer edges of the mat and then bring those knees together. So that's a nice release for the lower back. And we'll release the neck. So hands are down by the side. And inhale, reach your left arm up and gaze over to the right. Exhale, bring everything back to center, starting position. Inhale, reach the right arm up overhead, way back behind you, look to your left. And exhale, bring it back down. So just do one arm at a time, make sure one is complete before you start the other one, and let your breath guide your pacing. Let's do one more set, one on each side. When you're finished, take a moment to rest here. Bring your fingertips to your jaw. Just do a little bit of release of the jaw, massaging, opening and closing the mouth slowly as you work those muscles that can get kind of tight. And work your way into the temples or anywhere else on your face that feels good. You know, some of you might have some sensitive sinuses or, you know, inflamed or congested. You can work around the eyebrows for that, or right on the soft part of your face right next to your nose. That's got a lot of good sinus points in it. Whatever you feel like you need, just take a minute to give yourself some TLC. Maybe you'll like to do the ears. Good. And then you can stay with that. We're going to end with a twist on each side. So you can finish massaging the face muscles and then come into a twist, or you can take a twist now. Just let your knees fall to one side and those arms open up. Use a block if you need to so that the twist isn't too deep. You can place the block between your thighs or under your bottom leg. Just taking like 5 deep breaths on each side on your own, and then begin to prepare your body for Shavasana. Feel free to use the seat of your chair to support your lower legs if you'd like for Shavasana. Use blankets, whatever you need to help your body rest and get settled. Take this time in Shavasana to let your body become as still as you can. As your body settles down, the breath will soften and slow down. And then the ripples of the mind will start to also follow the softening of the breath. As we practice Shavasana, the most important asana in yoga, we create a fertile ground for all of the work, all of the practice to take root. And as we become quiet in the mind and heart, the heart can speak. And those deep wishes, yearnings, and promises have a place to rise up. I am loving awareness. 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 Let your promises and your prayers water an arid soul. Let them come from the loving awareness of your heart. Let your prayers and your promises mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. Let your prayers and promises elevate you to new heights and ground you in new truths. Allow your breath to deepen. Become aware of the temperature of the air against your skin, the weight of your body on the ground. And take your time finding yourself in a seated position. With your hands at your heart. And we close with our universal blessing. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free. May all beings be loved. And may all beings have peace. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shalom.